Okay, so at this point you've probably installed the RPG Key software, and I thought I'd show you a couple of things you need to do for setup. I'm on a Mac here. I'm going to go to my Finder and go to Applications, and here is the RPG Key v502 58, which stands for 58 keyboard, build blank blank blank. So in this case it happens to be build 117, but that build number is going up pretty much every day. So I'm going to drag this application to my dock, and I'm going to put it right next to Lightroom because I'm going to be using the keyboard with my Lightroom. The first time you run it, you're going to need to know that it does always ask you for a password. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my password. The first thing you should know is that it's going to open a tip of the day. And so this is a set of short videos, including this one, that are going to walk you through how to use the keyboard. If this doesn't open, you can find that right here in the Help and Video Tips menu. When you get your keyboard, the first thing you should do is go to that unzipped folder, which is here on my desktop, and label your keys. So here's a layout we've included if you want to use the keyboard with Photoshop and Lightroom together. Here's one for Lightroom only. Okay, there's one in here for Aperture only. So depending on how you're going to be using the keyboard, if you're like me and if you're going to be using it in Lightroom, we recommend that you go ahead and print out on an 8.5 by 11 and label the keys so that your keys look like our keys. Because it's just then at that point it's a plug and play device. You just print it out, cut it out, and you can label your keyboard. It takes about 10 minutes, and trust me, we know because we do it often. So other real quick things in the software. I'm going to click on the software down at the bottom here. In the advanced menu, the layout modifier tool is where you're going to customize the layout of your keyboard. So I'm going to pick a software like Lightroom 3, and I'm going to click a key. Now it tells me right now that escape is for the first key, and that's kind of the default layout, but I can search for exposure, and here are a whole bunch of exposure up and exposure down functions. So if I wanted to do exposure up right there, I could just click on exposure up, maybe 15. And if I wanted to do exposure down, I'll click on the modifier key in the corner here and program it for exposure down. So in this situation now, when I pressed key number 1, the exposure is going to go up, and if I pressed the option 1 key plus key number 1, it's going to go down. So that's how you program the keys. The keyboard is set up with a kind of plug and play device, so you can just kind of plug it in and go. But if we go into Lightroom, there's a little bit of Lightroom setup here. I'm going to go to the library module. You do want to make sure that all of these little things here are down, and that's pretty much it. Same in the develop module, we want to make sure that all of our presets are visible. And so we can grab this photo and reset it very quickly, and I'm going to hit button number 39, which is exposure for me, and sure enough, exposure goes up, and if I hold down the option key, exposure goes down. So it's a really brief introduction to the RPG Key trial. For Lightroom, it is plug and play, and for all of the other supporting softwares, it does require you to set it up. And again, setting it up just requires you to go to the advanced menu, go to the layout modifier, pick your poison, pick your software like, for example, Pro Select, which is new, and we'll click on button number 1, and we'll see here are all of the functions available to us in Pro Select. So there you go. Take care.